What's up? Welcome into Bleacher Talk. I'm Claudia Collins, and today I'm bringing you a special recruiting episode of Bleacher Talk. I have a background in covering recruiting across the state of Arizona, and it is a busy job, which is why there's so many people that are on this beat in the state. And I'll have two of the very best on with me today. First, we'll have Chili. You might know him as just Chili on Twitter or on the sidelines at just about every game. And then later on, we'll have Cody Cameron on. He's one of the best recruiting analysts in the state. He's on top of all things at all times. And then, of course, we'll round things out with Social Spotlight, which will be with Eliav goodbye. And no surprise, we'll also have a recruiting angle. So stick around for today's show. First, we'll hear from Chili. As promised, I've got Chili joining us to kick off this recruiting special. Chili, thanks so much for coming on. I want to start with the most important question. How have you been?
I've been good. I've been traveling around the country, coast to coast, from Southern California to Florida, right? I took a trip to Taiwan early in the year in January and got some personal travel time out of the way. And then after that, it was work, 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 and make sure that all our kids get an opportunity to get seen and heard and talked about.
Yeah, so in those travels, Elite 11s, you've got to go out and check out the quarterback competition. I do want to ask because the format of this is not maybe clear to everyone. What does Elite 11s look like? Who do you get to see, and what's the value in it for anybody who's looking to get recruited?
So they usually invite about 60 quarterbacks spread around the classes, and then they break the quarterbacks up into groups. There's usually like 3 groups. It's invite only, and Brian Stump runs an amazing event. Some of the best coaches out there. So, it's super competitive. Uniquely, this year, I went out to the first 2 already. I got to see them boys work in Texas, in Austin most recently. And the first one was kicked off in Los Angeles, where we had our own Wyatt Horton out there representing, and Jackson Knutson for our seniors. And then we had some underclassmen getting some work. Tate Reynolds, Marcel Jones looked absolutely spectacular out there. So it's super exciting to see 4 kids from Arizona all at one camp.
What do you think is the value of getting out to something like this? Is it to get the attention of coaches? I mean, or is it really just that, okay, I'm getting my feet wet in the off season and doing a little bit more than what's asked of me?
Elite 11 is a brand that I think, it's a fraternity of what everybody knows is the best quarterbacks in the country for the most part. There's some guys that fly under the radar that might not get in there, but for the most part, they do a good job with the invites and making sure that they have all the best quarterbacks competing. And then they usually have their Elite 11 finals, which takes place in Southern California. And man, it's usually the top 20 quarterbacks in the country, and it's pretty accurate. It's pretty accurate within 20 to 30 range.
I'm throwing this in there too because you said you've been traveling coast to coast, and I did notice that you also mentioned that from coast to coast, tight ends know Jason Mons.
All of them, all of them. Superstars to super sleepers. It doesn't matter if they're 1-star or 5-star. They all have a Mons story. They all have a story where, man, I had an amazing conversation with Mons. Oh, I haven't met him in person, but we've communicated. Like every single tight end that I have talked to, that I'm like, oh, this might be a prospect. I'm gonna see if he knows this tight ends coach or that tight ends coach. They all know Coach Mons. It's absolutely amazing what he's been able to do on the recruiting trail. For whatever it's worth, I'm super proud of him, right? Because, we always wonder how our high school coaches will translate to the college level. And fortunately here with Arizona State, we have Coach Regal, who has been a spectacular recruiter, Coach Dillingham, who wildly has been, across the country too, doing his thing, and Coach Aguano also. Like it's been super cool. For anybody that thinks that Arizona State isn't out there recruiting, I can say that communicatively, these guys are doing the work. So Arizona State fans should be super proud of what their coaching staff is doing.
Hey, what a perfect segue, because you've also been out at ASU spring practices, and guys from high school are getting out to those too. What's the value of being on the sidelines as a high school football player, looking at a potential future at ASU and being out there?
I think that this is going to go kind of under the radar in terms of comments regarding that, but seeing if that's what you want. Like, dude, this is a lifestyle. It's not about playing in the stadium and being under the lights. That's just the benefit of putting in all the work. You got to fall in love with the grind. If you don't love the extra practice, the weight room, things like that, doing the extra things that will make you better, like jumping on the track, dude, it's just not the lifestyle that you want. Everybody says, "Oh, I want to run out of the tunnel, stand next to the Tillman statue." But do you want to put in the work that's required to make sure that you get that opportunity? And I see a lot of kids get wide-eyed and like, "Ooh, man, these coaches are really giving these guys that work." Like, is it like this every day? Yeah, it's like that every day. These guys want to be coached up. They want to be disciplined. They want to be made better.
All right, last but not least, Chili, you got your flight club coming up. Always something that we've heard about since you've put it on. When is it? What's the deal with it? Who's coming along? What's different about this year?
Yeah, so Flight Club this year has gone a little bit more to the roots, a little bit more private, a little bit quieter. That's the way it started out, and I felt like it was time to get back to that. I haven't communicated with like a lot of our media friends or whatever about it. You're actually the first one that I'm talking to about it. So yeah, it's going to be taking place June 22nd over there at Copper Sky Fields in Maricopa. And I got some tricks that I'm going to break out this year, but the invites are in the mail. So coaches, if you've inquired, if you asked me, if you've hit me up, players, make sure you talk to your coaches. Invites are in the mail right now. And I am going to be gifting a spot in Flight Club at one of these 7-on-7 tournaments to be named later.
Awesome. Love to hear it. Chili, always great to have you on, especially for this recruiting special. Thanks for much for joining us.
Appreciate you, Claudia.
Coming up on Bleacher Talk, we'll hear from Cody Cameron, a few guys that he's looking forward to watching their recruitment this season, and of course, what camps you have to check out this summer.
What would you need to experience life in full motion? Expertise to provide the best care, unsurpassed training and technique. It requires the best orthopedic surgeons. Ortho Arizona.
Ortho Arizona and my journey. My knees were shot, so I had double knee replacement, and I wanted the best in rehab. Ortho Arizona encouraged and pushed me in the process. Go to orthoarizona.org. That's orthoarizona.org.
Bienvenidos.
Here in the heart of the American Southwest, you'll find 3 well-known restaurants all named Valle Luna, serving the finest Sonoran-style Mexican food known across the country and beyond. And we're open for business, so come on in. We've fired up the grill and iced down the refreshments and even added some specialties along the way.
Thanks for coming.
Hello. Greetings.
Welcome back.
No matter where you're from or how you say it, at Valle Luna, you're always welcome, and we're glad to have you back.
We've got some fresh new young talent doing some things that I know you haven't heard before.
1, 2, 3, listen.
Now bust a move, bust a move, bust a move.
Custom ordering is at Santan Ford. Colors, wheels, trims, performance packages, and more from the factory right to your driveway. And you can even track your custom Ford every step of the way.
We are Santan Ford.
Discover more Play for All at Harrah's Auction Casino.
Hi, folks. Here are your drinks.
Where having fun means racking up reward credits with the Caesars Rewards loyalty program. They can be redeemed for food, free play, hotel stays, and more. Not only here in the city of Maricopa, but also at more than 50 Caesars properties coast to coast. From Harrah's Las Vegas to Caesars Palace in Atlantic City. What are you waiting for? Play for All at Harrah's Auction Casino, the official sponsor of Play.
Unlock your home's equity with a home equity line of credit from Desert Financial Credit Union and use the cash for whatever you need. Get started now. Rates are still low and home values are high. Visit desertfinancial.com/HELOC and unlock your home's equity today.
Well, it wouldn't be a recruiting special on Bleacher Talk if we didn't bring on Cody Cameron. Welcome back to Bleacher Talk. I'm Claudia Collins. And like I said, we've got one of the best recruiting analysts in the state here with us today to talk all things recruiting, from just individual players to camps to look out for this summer. All right, Cody, let's just kick it right off. There's a guy at Mountain Point you're looking forward to following his recruitment this year. What do you think?
Oh, big time. His name's Caleb Jones. And the thing I love about Caleb, he already has so much varsity experience. He's a 3-time all-region player in 6A. When you look at Caleb, it's a player who started on the offensive line, big, nasty, the aggressor on that side of the ball. They moved him to the defensive front last year, and you see those same tactics, but just, times 100. The physicalness he plays with, the nastiness he plays with, I think it's perfect for that defensive tackle position. And he's really athletic. The other thing I love about Caleb is, what do you see him do in the spring? When you look at big men, that's a great time, January through May, to maximize their weight room numbers, get their grades up. A lot of times throwing shot and disc. What's Caleb Jones doing? He's running the 100-meter. I absolutely love that. When you see a defensive lineman posting on Twitter that he's in one of the 8 lanes in 100-meter and running with the skill players, let me add, keeping up with some skilled players in the state of Arizona, that is a heck of an athlete. But Caleb Jones and his recruitment, it's a kid who's picked up numerous Division I offers already. Seeing him transition to the defensive line, as coaches see more tape and as see him in person here in the springtime in a couple of weeks, see those offers skyrocket, Claudia.
Moving over to Chandler, player over there. Who do you want to see?
You're talking about Chandler High School, right? You're using the word slept on, and it's almost non-existent. You're talking about a program who's been the pinnacle, just the peak of Arizona high school football for an X amount of years. There's a linebacker over there named Aiden Browder. And the thing about Aiden, just like Caleb, started on the offensive side of the ball and moved to defense last year as his first year playing linebacker. And he tore it up. He checks the boxes in so many ways. When you look at his size, his frame, his athleticism, same thing. Even though his first year playing defense, you see some defensive tenacity in there. And the thing that's really impressive about him, he runs at a low 1100-meter time. And that's one of the fastest in the linebacker room in the entire state of Arizona. He's a blazer. When you talk to Derek Richardson, head track coach and son of Eric Richardson at Chandler High School, he said this kid epitomizes Chandler football and what you're supposed to do in the offseason in terms of getting stronger in the weight room, getting great grades, and getting faster on the track. Aiden Browder, the more experience he has playing football and just getting reps at the linebacker position, he's going to explode. But just this spring, he just took a junior day visit to Colorado State. There's a ton of Division I interest around this kid because the size and the speed he has offers galore for Aiden Browder.
All right, you heard it here first. If his recruitment blows up, Cody called it. I do want to ask you, though, Chandler, always a handful, more than a handful of recruits coming out of Chandler. What's your take on their class this year?
I think it's an interesting class where you look at the 2024 class. There's so many high-profile kids at some of their best positions in the state. I think what makes Chandler really special this year is they're more balanced. Now, they're going to have some kids in that 2025 class, like an Aiden Browder and some of their other skilled positions. But you look at the classes coming in the class of 2026 and the class of 2027. They got some superstars. I think it's a well-balanced group, and the Wolves will be totally fine heading to the next level.
All right, we're going to switch gears and talk about camps. You're just our camp guy, too. We've got recruiting, we've got camps. I'm going to start with the Lake Forest camp that's at Pinnacle on May 18th. Lake Forest does an amazing job recruiting guys out of the Valley. What's your take? Why should guys go out to this camp?
I love this camp so much because you have a wide variety. It's a big net. When you're talking about recruiting, it's all about creating an opportunity to play at the next level. A camp like that where there's so many D3 schools, so many D2 schools. Heck, even last year, there's a couple of FCS schools in Division I there. They're all recruiting you in person, and they're coaching you at this camp. Also, a lot of these camps are usually about $150, $200. It could be all the way up to there. I don't think Coach Catanzaro charges more than $65 to go here. It's local. You're going to get coached up, and you're going to be recruited in person. And there's a recruiting fair where you get to meet these coaches in person, go over your transcripts, and show interest and make an impression firsthand with all these college coaches. 600 participants last year at the one at Mountain Point. This year is going to be at Pinnacle, and over 100 kids that attended that camp signed to a school that was in attendance. Those are great odds, 100%. This is a green light, must attend football camp in the state of Arizona.
I actually love that format too, because it goes beyond football. It's really building those relationships and figuring out, is this a good overall fit? So that's awesome. Let's talk in the Valley, ASU camp on June 8th. I mean, if you want to stay close to home, what's the deal with the ASU camp?
I think they're doing a really good job of pushing for another wide variety. They are marketing this as not just Division I schools. They're trying to attack D2 and D3 as well. So when you look at recruitment, same thing, a wide net, because there's only going to be a very small percentage that make it to Division I football. Having a wide net and options is great. And so what Coach Dillingham is doing with that, the way they're marketing it, I think is absolutely brilliant. And it's another great camp to attend, to be recruited in person.
NAU camp on June 9th. What's the deal there?
Another thing, I love it because it's right after ASU's camp. You can go to ASU's camp and learn how to camp, and then head up to Flagstaff, escape that horrendous 110-degree heat that Phoenix has, and get up to the Pines. Here's why I love this camp this year. Coach Wright and company, it's a brand new staff at NAU. What a better way to make an impression than go up to Flagstaff, see the beautiful facilities that the Lumberjacks have to offer, and go ball out and maybe walk away with an opportunity. Another reason why I love it, NAU has the Lumberjack scholarship system. You high academic football players, if you have a 3.8 or above, most of your school, actually all of it is covered with that Lumberjack scholarship. Coach Wright and company are going to take advantage of that. And it's a great opportunity to not only continue your education at a great school, but also have an opportunity to become a Division I football player. We've seen it in many recruiting classes before where high academic football players get a great chance at NAU because they have such good grades. I love this camp. Go meet the new staff. Go make an impression. Get out of the heat. Go ball out on NAU's facilities and go eat some great food in downtown Flagstaff after.
Cody Cameron always brings the goods when it comes to recruiting. Thanks so much for coming on here. Be sure to follow him on Twitter if you want to keep track of all the camps going on. I know that you're all over that and retweeting all of those things. And stick around. When we come back, we'll have Social Spotlight with Eliav Goodbye, which will also, surprise, surprise, have a recruiting angle. Stick around.
When you get a home loan from Desert Financial, you're not just getting a mortgage. You get a mortgage. You'll get more competitive rates, more local servicing of your loan. We even offer a closing guarantee on select loans. And because more is better, get up to $5,000 closing cost credit when you use a participating real estate broker. At Desert Financial, we don't just do mortgages, we do mortgages. Click, call, or come in for more information on our great rates, local servicing, and how you can qualify for a closing cost credit of up to $5,000.
With springtime savings going on now at Burge Volkswagen, it's time to get out and enjoy the Arizona weather in your favorite new Volkswagen. Save with 0% financing or $2,000 customer bonus on new Tiguans, 1.9% financing for 60 months, or a $3,000 customer bonus on Atlas and Atlas Cross Sport. Save with 3.9% for 72 months on Taos, or drive a 2024 Jetta starting at $22,995. Rush to Burge Volkswagen for springtime savings. Burge Volkswagen, Baseline and Country Club, or burgevw.com.
Let's talk about Venezia's Pizzeria. New York style pizza. Oh man, this looks so good. Pizza doughs made fresh daily, wings, subs, sandwiches, pasta. They cater, they deliver. They have 5 Valley locations. Venezia's New York style pizzeria.
What would you need to experience life in full motion? Expertise to provide the best care, unsurpassed training and technique. It requires the best orthopedic surgeons. Ortho Arizona.
Unlock your home's equity with a home equity line of credit from Desert Financial Credit Union and use the cash for whatever you need. Get started now. Rates are still low and home values are high. Visit desertfinancial.com/HELOC and unlock your home's equity today.
What's up? Welcome back to Bleacher Talk. I'm Claudia Collins, and I've got Eliav Gabai with me now for our social spotlight segment. Eliav, I'm going to start with the most important question that I've been asking everyone. How have you been?
Oh, well, thank you. That means a lot. Been good, just getting through it, enjoying the craziness of March and now into April. How are you, Claudia?
The March Madness, is that what you're trying to say? The madness of March?
Yes, I think that's the thing. That's what's going on, right?
The
Plus
madness of March into April. That's exactly how it goes. Hey, well, we've got a special recruiting angle on the social spotlight. You want to get us started?
Yep, we're gonna start with Jake Hildebrand out of Basha, checking out spring practice at ASU. I mean, quite simply, Claudia, I feel like as many athletes can do this, it's almost like a mini internship. You're getting a peek into what you're about to get into, right?
Hey, you sound like you just had the conversation with Chili that I had earlier, and that is getting out to these college practices brings so much value because you have an opportunity to see how things work. If you like the facilities, if you like the vibe at practice, if you like the music at practice, whatever it might be, you just got to see if you're a fit. And honestly, I'm sure that these guys are just loving the opportunity to get out there and get their feet wet.
And you mentioned Chili, so let's swing it over to our guy. He was over at practice, and it wasn't just Hildebrand. A lot of young talent across AZ taking the advice and heading out to spring practice. I mean, if you're looking for anything football, we're going to talk about one more guy later on in the show, but Chili is the guy, Claudia.
Absolutely. And I do want to say too, this is a real testament to the new staff. They're not so new now, but the staff at ASU and just the focus that they're starting to really put on recruiting in the Valley. We know that started with Sean Aguano, but I just think that something like this is proof that, okay, there's talent in Arizona. And we've got the Sun Devils here. We know that Arizona, University of Arizona, has done a pretty good job recruiting in-state. We need a more level playing field, right? We want to keep our in-state guys in-state. And I just think this is a great opportunity for ASU to do just that.
Now, another program that's in Arizona, NAU, of course, the Lumberjacks, and Tristan Bacon of Raymond S. Kellis. He got that official NAU offer and new facilities over there at NAU. It's just getting better and better over there, honestly, for the Lumberjacks.
It's honestly a gorgeous, gorgeous campus facility. I might be saying that as I know we're getting closer to the summer and the heat here, and going up to NAU just sounds like a dream already, and we haven't even hit those summer months yet. But another thing I want to bring up about Tristan, which I'm glad that we're talking about him, what an awesome job he did on his Twitter profile from a recruiting standpoint. If you followed Bleacher Talk or any of the recruiting stuff I've done, the importance of having like a really solid profile in this case is kind of like a resume. We've got his phone number, his name is spelled correctly, the Twitter handle's easy to follow. He's posting videos of him lifting, he's posting his huddle link. Great work. This is exactly the type of thing that builds the perfect resume for recruitment.
Well, that's great advice, and I think everyone should be taking notes. Shout out to Tristan, and we're going to finish it off with Shadow Ridge football, letting the other guy that I teased earlier, our guy Cody Cameron, come and quote unquote always hit home runs over there as he talks to the kids. Honestly, I don't know if there's anybody better to talk to kids and educate them about what it is to be a football player in Arizona, and also how to be a person in trying to get that next opportunity. I think he's one of the brighter minds in this football space in Arizona.
Yeah, he's the guy. And I guess honestly, did I just put together an entire Bleacher Talk episode to hype up Chili and Cody? Yes, yes, I did. I guess so. But they really know what they're doing. Cody, honestly, the types of things that he talks about in these like seminars is what I just talked about, like building that perfect resume and making sure like you're putting your value out there. And I know this is exactly the kind of thing he does in these opportunities where he goes out and speaks to schools. I went last year when he spoke to Red Mountain, just because I wanted to see, like, honestly, there's still things for me to learn. There's still things for you to learn. We can all learn from each other. And I learned a lot about recruiting and scholarships and all of that from Cody. So that's why he really is the guy when it comes to that kind of thing.
Absolutely. But that's all we got for Social Spotlight.
Hey, you're selling yourself short. That's all we've got. You did awesome. Thank you so much for bringing the goods again.
Of course.
That does it for this episode of Bleacher Talk. Thank you so much to Chili, Cody, and Eliav for joining me. Be sure to follow Chili and Cody on Twitter if you want recruiting updates. That's all for this episode. We'll see you next week.
We got them at Santan Ford. From the latest all-electrics to the most rugged 4x4s and America's best-selling truck.
We are Santan Ford.
Visit us at Harrah's Auction Casino in the city of Maricopa, where you'll find play for all and friendly people ready to welcome you like family.
Welcome back, you two.
As the official sponsor of Play and the only casino in Arizona with Caesars Rewards, see what a difference it makes to play where your fun is our top priority. Harrah's Auction Casino. Play for all.
Bienvenidos.
Here in the heart of the American Southwest, you'll find 3 well-known restaurants all named Valle Luna, serving the finest Sonoran-style Mexican food known across the country and beyond. And we're open for business, so come on in. We've fired up the grill and iced down the refreshments and even added some specialties along the way.
Thanks for coming.
Hello. Greetings.
Welcome back.
No matter where you're from or how you say it, at Valle Luna, you're always welcome, and we're glad to have you back.
When you get a home loan from Desert Financial, you're not just getting a mortgage. You get a mortgage and up to $5,000 closing cost credit. Click, call, or come in for more information on our great rates, local servicing, and how you can qualify for a closing cost credit of up to $5,000.